The story begins with the first meeting of the protagonist, Cain von Euclid, with his grandfather Reinhard von Euclid, the founder of the United States. On the first continent, the protagonist will never forget their first meeting. Reinhard to his grandson that he would become an extraordinary villain, all the countenance of this world would fall at his feet. MC thought that he had already killed him more than once, however. It was impossible to change what was destined. Had suffered countless defeats, and having seen the end of this world, he experienced despair more than once, so he decided to become even more ruthless. Reinhard said that in the end, on the day he was born, he found hope. He Tornado his grandson, handing him an artifact that he should follow him, since fate cannot be avoided and cannot be changed in any way. However, he will make a real man out of him. The protagonist and his grandfather set off on a year journey. Remembers every second of this difficult journey with crystal clarity. After some time on the fourth continent, where the art of war is valued, Karami Makaru, the Black Wolf Demon, shouted Wilthy, "Fight or leave the girl with him." The captive shouted that she was asking them to help her. She has a small child too. Originally from Simon shouted while his men doubted their victory. How can he not be ashamed to take a woman? Hostajekirami declared that he can talk whatever he wants, but the life of this woman is in his hands. Suddenly Thep asked, "Is this what they call him, the Black Wolf Demon?" Garami shouted, "Who is here?" The protagonist noted Thathus, completely mired in evil. MC delivered a crushing blow that finishes off the criminal, along with the victim, and then kills one of Two's men. Two pounces on the protagonist with a weapon, but the protagonist deflects the wet a swing of his sword. The protagonist stated that the hostage was his message to his allies. Freeze in shock, holding their guns to the protagonist's throat. The M said that the man he just killed was also their accomplice. Toka shouted that this couldn't be. The protagonist stated that they would be able to find proof in his wallet, a sign that he belonged to the Dark Amulets. Toko said upon finding this amulet that he couldn't believe it. Since when did he betray them? He then said, bowing to the protagonist, that he thanked him for his help. The protagonist said that he unlidded what he had to. Toko asked how he knew that they belonged to the Dark Amulets. The MC stated that it wasn't about who they were, he only got rid of evil sometime later in the tavern. Reinhardt said, turning to his grandson, that he had defeated evil and saved the pious people. He can be proud of himself. However, how did he know that the woman killed and the warrior were in cahoots? What would he do if it turned out that she was innocent? Did he not have any doubts that he was killing an innocent person? The protagonist said that he was sure that she was not a hostage. Rehord asked how he could be so sure of that. The protagonist noted that he himself gave him the pendant, which allowed him to see the truth. Reinhardt asked, so the sacred circle was in his possession all this time? The protagonist asked in surprise, could this item really be the sacred circle, which is the relic of the third continent? Did he seriously steal it? However, he always forbade his grandson from committing evil deeds, and yet he did it himself. Reinhardt said that he had no choice. They had already tried to change his fate many times. Mac asked, so when he stole the treasure of the second continent, he had no choice either, and the peaches from Purgatorient. There was also a seabed relic, right? Reinhardt shouted that he had to stop. Let him tell him. Does the sacred circle rarely allow him to distinguish between good and evil? The protagonist noted that he felt the evil swallowing up the three of them. He killed them when he realized that they were villains with no chance of correction. Reinhardt declared that the sacred circle had recognized him finally. His divine punishment star was freed from the shackles of its predetermined fate. He could afford to remain neutral. The protagonist thought that they had spent years together with their grandfather, and he still could not understand his thoughts. Reinhardt noted that he could not bother his head. After all, as the saying goes, ignorance is bliss. The protagonist asked Adif. This was really true. Reinhardt noted that he had a body like a wild animal. The protagonist asked if this was really a compliment. Reinhardt shouted that he could interpret it as he wanted. Night fell in the hotel room. Reinhardt said that he would no longer limit him, he should live as he pleases. The protagonist noted that he wants to repay good with kindness and boundless evil. With evil he will live freely without stepping beyond what his grandfather taught him. Reinhardt said that his words give him peace. Morning came. The protagonist found a letter from his grandfather, in which he wrote that their journey together ends here. He must go through life not paying attention to his fate, In the end, he wants to say only one thing, no matter what anyone tells him. Hayes, not a villain. P.S. In the depths of the continent he must find a blacksmith named Kale, who will help him on his journey after some time. The protagonist made a crushing blow to the enemy, and then blocked the enemy's blow. People from the Dark Amulets shouted that he dared to insult them. The protagonist, with sharp movements, destroyed his enemies with sword blows. The protagonist thought, has this sword already broken? This sword could not hold out for long. Suddenly reinforcements from the Dark Amulets arrived, which the protagonist destroyed with the broken sword, and then punched the last one. A member of the Dark Amulet shouted that he should listen to him. The protagonist noted that it is very difficult to knock someone down without killing them. A member of Dark Amulets curled up on the ground and said that he does not know anything. MC noted that he knows this. A member of Dark Amulets shouted, then why did he leave him alive? The protagonist thought that his sacred circle artifact, Gladwhite. The protagonist said that he was leaving him alive because he was able to start a new life. He himself should go to prison, repent properly, and start a righteous life. MC thought, picking up the weapon from the ground, that this sword is quite good. He believes that this weapon can last a long time. Then he noticed a huge snow white glow from the side of the castle roof. The protagonist thought that he had seen this before with his grandfather. There was a goodman there, the protagonist said, looking at the roof of the castle, that he should not let him down at this time. Jime Onthroof said that he was worried when he heard rumors about a young man under years old killing a criminal and a hostage with one blow. Even from this distance, his instincts told him that this guy was not so simple. He thought, why did he leave that man alive? It was as if he entrusted him with dealing with him. Soen Tai's disciple asked, why is he here? They should go down quickly. Tai said that he first had to finish one thing. Tai suddenly jumped off the roof followed by his disciple, and then with one kick he knocked out the man from the Dark Amulets. Silan asked, who was it? Tai said that it was a minion of the Dark Amulets. Silan noted that he was still alive should she deliver the finishing blow. Tai said that he would be judged according to local laws. Solan asked why such complications. After all, those born to do evil deeds can only be corrected by the grave. She believed that their duty was to deal with him here. And Nauta said that this was a request from the one who dealt with his friends. Solan asked in surprise how he could ask such a thing from such a distance. She wondered if anyone could really notice the presence of a teacher from such a distance. Even the best students of their school tried their best, but they could not even make out his shadow. If she had not known that their teacher often liked to climb onto the roof, she would not have found him. Tai noted that the guy had a very keen eye. Solan asked if she was the same age as him. Tai said Thatch could be then. He said that it was his sword. Cheon noted that it was broken. She wondered, did he not strengthen Theblade with Nigon? In other words, did he not use abilities at all? Sholin said, did he defeat the opponents without using abilities? Is he better than her in body cultivation and blade control? The protagonist arrived at the central continent, an independent region that exists to maintain peace between the continent's people. From all the flock to this place and bring famous goods. In Sur, the port of the central continent, you can find body cultivation, pills that came from the fourth continent, or taste the meat of the waterhound from the first continent, and various offers, including a first-class fortune teller from the second continent. The protagonist thought Thathor were so many people here. Where was the train station? A passerby offered him, introducing herself as a teacher of Thephamus. Fortune teller moved that she could predict his fate for half the price. C.A. Boren, a fortune teller of Moiko, from the Silver Fox clan, said that she would really like to meet her. Maybe she could tell her fortune. She can predict no one's fate except her own. The passerby asked if she was worried about her future. CIA said that she was the protagonist. Wondered if she was really from the Silver Fox clan. Seiya asked if the sight of her ears and tail was really that unusual for him. He did not need to apologize for that. She simply decided that he was interested in her thoughts. All maybe fate itself brought them together. They should tell their futures together. She will pay. MC said that he refuses this. C noted that she did not mean anything like that. She's just new to the central continent. Anj feels sad about going to the fortune teller alone. Besides, he's also worried about his destiny, just like she is. The protagonist said that he is not interested. Seiya said that she does not need it either. A passerby shouted, Thatch is fed up with everything. She's having no luck in business today. Nariel, a bodyguard from the second continent, asked. CIA. If she should deal with her, CIA said that she can leave her alone after all. She was the one who treated her badly. Noted that the woman used her reputation to lure a client. Chaside that it does not matter. She does not have the patience to deal with everyone. Who does that? She's more interested in the guy she was talking to. Nell shouted. Did she really fall in love with him at first sight? CIA said. Thatch misunderstood her. She was interested in him because she couldn't see anything about his fate. She thought that this was a guy with a fate is blank. As a she-paper, she had never seen anything like this in her entire life, so she couldn't help but talk to him. She was sure that their paths would cross again in the future. Naral noted that she couldn't see his fate. CIA said that was true, but she did see his ticket, and oddly enough they were heading to the same place. She found it strange, but he reminded her of a man from the past, whom she accidentally met years ago. She remembered that he had a strange fate. She wondered where he was now, and what he was doing. Nariel Askadef, she was referring to the man who stole the relic of the first beast. King C noted that she recognized him as a bod person. However, his words about forging your own destiny if you don't see a way forward. You can only act at your own discretion. For some reason she remembered them, so instead of looking at this guy's destiny, she decided to look somewhere else. And her subconscious gaze stopped on the ticket. For some reason she was convinced that they would meet again at this time. The protagonist thought that the girl his age was from the Silver Fox clan, and her words about seeing someone else's destiny. Was this really what grandfather was talking about? There are 3 stars that influence how his constellation of destiny will turn out. Among them is Sia from the Silver Fox clan, who belongs to his generation. Her destiny is to pierce his heart with a spear. However, this is strange. If he is destined to become an enemy with her, then why did she act so friendly? Is it because his fate has become more neutral? If so, then the fate others could have changed too. According to Grandpa, there are more than people in the world who are destined to kill him, and that's just the most conservative estimate. If you count everyone, there are more than a humans to avoid this fate. Each of them, this is the main goal of his journey. After some time in the capital of Berlin, the Iron Heart Forge, the protagonist said that he was looking for one person who works here. Amy, a forge worker, asked, is his name? The protagonist said the name is Kale. Amy thought, is this really a problem client who will demand a weapon? She said that an appointment is required to meet the blacksmith. Mick noted that he did not make an appointment in advance, but he has this for him. Can she give it to him when he receives it? He will immediately understand everything. The protagonist thought that he himself does not know what is in this box. Grandpa forbade asking about it. The protagonist said that if he looked at it and still didn't want to see him, he would just leave. Amy wondered if she was wrong about him. She said that Kale was on break right now, but he could wait here. MC thought that as expected the sacred circle, Washington blind lie, white. Dean Cosell, the assistant director of the Iron Heart Forge, said that she was being too polite. As usual, customers like that should be thrown out of here immediately. The protagonist thought that the artifact had turned black because of it. However, that was strange. What kind of villain with such a black aura would work in the forge? Dean shouted that if he wanted to meet Kale, he better bring money, then he would become a VIP customer, and he would let him meet him. Someone like him doesn't have much money, right? The protagonist noted that even if he had money, he still wouldn't buy something that this worker had a hand in. Dean shouted, where did he get such impudence from? MC said that it was not impudence, but a fact. He saw no point in buying a blade that could not withstand his strength. Dean asked, in his opinion, he was not capable of creating a good blade. The protagonist said that he had already broken many blades. Dean said that he wanted to test it. He was taking responsibility. The protagonist noted that he did not look like someone who could handle responsibility. He believed that he was only able to use the good name of this forge. If you look closely, there were several low-grade blades lying around. This was definitely work, although you would not be able to tell by him, but he believed that he knew his place better than he seemed. McSade taking one of the blades that had looked like a beautiful blade. In fact, mediocre, just like him. Dean shouted, why did he allow himself to do this? The protagonist said that he brought trouble on himself. The protagonist thought that this worker was already prepared to deceive Travelers who knew nothing about weapons, MC, said that one swing was enough for this blade to break. How would he be held responsible for this? Dean thought that this couldn't be true even. If it was Akutou, the sword shouldn't break from one swing. Kale Dipple, the director of the Iron Heart Forge, said that he hadn't personally shown up at the shop for a long time, but something interesting was brewing here. Who was responsible for this commotion? Dean shouted that this customer should explain everything. He was the one who started smashing theirs words for no reason. He would call the guards. Right now Kale shouted that he should shut up. Why was such trash in their sanctuary? His reaction says a lot. Now he understands where the rumors come from, that their blades are flawed.